So this is a video for the analysis of the topic tests. Uh, Again, the idea behind these topic tests is they are supposed to help you gauge your level of preparation for a topic that you've gone through or prepared. Watch this video once you've taken the test, and if you like the test, there are more than 200 such topic tests available on the Bodhee Prep Android app. The link for which is in the description below. This video is about the percentages. Test number 1 is mentioned in the app. Overall, this test was a level of difficulty was easy, and I think about 7 odd attempts net would be a good attempt, and the time taken should be somewhere around 18 to 20 minutes, because the calculation also involved was not too lengthy, and therefore going through all the questions, attempting all of them, and making sure that you get about 7 questions net correct will give you a 95 plus percentile in this test. If you look at the questions, so this is question number 1. Question 1 says, in an examination, the score of A was 10% less than B. So whatever B scored, A scored 10% less than that. The score of B was 25% more than C. So whatever C scored, B scored 25% more than that. And the score of C was 20% less than D. So whatever D scored, C scored 20% less than that. If A scored 72, what is the score of D? Since for our first calculation, D is the base, and then C is the base, and then B is the base, we can start by assuming D to be 100x. Since C scored 20% less than this, 20% of 100 will be 20. So score of C will be 80x, which means here C has scored 80x. B has scored 20% more than C. 20% of 80 will be 2 8s are 16. Sorry, 25%. So 25% is 1/4 of 80x, which will be 20x. So B has scored 20x more than 80x. So B score becomes 100x. And A is 10% less than B. B is 100. 10% of 100 will be 10. So A will be 90x. It is given that A scored 72. So 90x is equal to 72, which means 10x divided by 9 is equal to 8, which means 100x will be equal to 80. What is the score of D? D scored 100x. That is D scored 80, and that becomes the answer. As you can see, easy question. The number of numbers involved for calculations are also easy. Therefore, definitely something that should be attempted in the exam. Should take about 1.5 minutes to get the question done with. In 2010, a library contained 11500 books in 2 categories, fiction and non-fiction. Let the number of fiction books be F, number of non-fiction books be N. Now, in 2015, the library contained a total of 12760 books in the same categories. During this period, there was 10% increase in fiction category books, while 12% increase in non-fiction category. How many fiction category books are there in 2015? So suppose in 2010, the number of books is F and N respectively. We can say F plus N is 11500. Now, fiction category increased by 10. So the number will now become F into 1 plus 10 upon 100. This will be 1.1. So in 2015, number of fiction books will be 1.1 F plus non-fiction increased by 12. So the number will become N into 1 plus 12 upon 100. This will be 0.2, 1.12. So 1.12 N. This sum will now be 12760. We have to find the value of non-fiction books. 1.1 F is what we have to find out. What we can do is multiply this by 1.12, cancel out to get F. For me, multiplying by 1.1 is easy. So what I'm saying, suppose this is equation 1. I multiply equation 1 by 1.1. So that gives me 1.1 F plus 1.1 N is equal to 0. Decimal goes away, 0. 5612650. 1.1 into 11500. Suppose this is equation 3, this is equation 2. Now what we do is we subtract equation 3 from equation 2. 1.1f, 1.1f cancel. 1.12n minus 1.1n will be 0.02n. This will be equal to 650 minus 760, which is 110. 110. Multiplied by 50. 50 into 0.2 will be 1. This will become 5500. And therefore, if we substitute this value here, 5500, we will get F as 11500 minus 5500, which is 6000. We have to find the number of fiction books in 2015, which will be 1.1 F. So the answer will be 1.1 into 6000, which will be 6600. Again, conceptually, not a very difficult question, just application of multiplying factor. Calculation might take a bit of time, and therefore I'm saying maybe 20 odd, 2 odd minutes, 120 odd seconds to solve. But conceptually, easy question. In a particular examination, the maximum marks that can be scored is 250 and pass marks is 50% of maximum marks. So maximum marks is is 250, pass marks is 50% or half of 250, which will be 125. 3 persons ABC give the examination. B passes the exam by 5 times the number of marks by which A fails. Suppose A fails by X marks, so A is X less than 125. So 125 minus X. B will pass with 5 times the marks of which A has failed. So B will be 5x more than 125. The difference between their scores would be, this will be 5x, not X, sorry. The difference between their scores will be 5x and X, 6x. Next, C scores as many marks more than B as B does more than A. So C's score will be 125 plus 5x, the score of B, plus the difference between A and B, which is 6x. Hence, C's score will be 125 plus 11x. If C scores 72% marks in the examination. Now, what is 72%? 72% of 250 will be 72 upon 100 into 250. This can be written as 72 upon 100. 250 will be 1000 by 4. 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. 72 will be 30, 18 and therefore 180. So C's score is 180. So we can say 125 plus 11x is equal to 180, which means 11x is equal to 55 or x is equal to 5. The marks scored by B. The marks scored by B are simply 125 plus 5x, which is 5 into 5. So 125 plus 25 or 150 becomes my answer. Again, basic percentage problem based on marks. Level of difficulty, I'd say medium. Reading the question probably is important. Otherwise, solving will not take too much time because the equations are pretty simple. But reading the question properly is required. Solving time should be somewhere around 2 minutes. 2 apples, 3 mangoes, and 6 bananas cost the same. Suppose the cost of an apple is A, cost of a banana of mango is M, and the cost of one banana is B. So according to this question, 2A is equal to 3M is equal to 6B. If the price of an apple apple increased by 25% and that of a mango by 40%, find the approximate percentage increase in the total cost of 4 apples, 5 mangoes, and 6 bananas. Now we can take the cost of each of them to be, we have to find 25%. If we take it to be, say 24, 25% is 1 by 4. So 2 apples cost 24 rupees. So 1 apple will cost 12 rupees. 3 mangoes cost 24 rupees. So 1 mango will cost 8 rupees. This is my assumption that we are using. 6 bananas cost 24 rupees. So 1 banana will cost 4 rupees. Now, the cost of 4 apples, 5 mangoes, and 6 bananas normally will be 4 apples, 5 mangoes, and 6 bananas would be 4 apple, means 4 into 12. 5 mangoes means 5 into 8. 6 bananas means 6 into 4. So 48 plus 40 plus 24. This becomes 80, 100, 112. The increase in price of apples is 10%. Therefore, increase in price of apples is 25%. Will be 1 by 2 of 12, which is 1 by 4. 25% is 1 by 4. So 3 rupees. Increase in price of mangoes is 40% of 8. 40% of 8, which will be 4 8 is 32. So 3.2 rupees. Now in this case, because of 4 apples, the price will increase by 4 into 3, 12 rupees. Because of 5 mangoes, the price will increase by 5 into 3.2. Because each mango, the price is increasing by 3.2. So the total increase in price will be 12 plus 16, which is 28. 28. 28 into 4. And therefore, the percentage increase in price will be the increase of 28 on a base of 112 into 100. 28 fours are 112, and therefore 425 are 100. Therefore, overall increase is 25%. Again, maybe for the last step, the calculation might be a little difficult, but otherwise, very easy question. Just put in values and then start solving. Including the calculation, maybe 2 minutes to solve, but something that could be attempted in exams as well. In a class, 60% of the students are girls, the rest are boys. There are 30 more girls than boys. So if there are 100x students, 60x are girls, 60%, and 40x are boys. There are 30 more girls than boys. Therefore, 60x minus 40x is equal to 30, which means 20x is equal to 30, or x is equal to 1.5. That means total number of students is 100 into 1.5, 150. Out of the 60 are girls, 90. 60% of 150 will be 90. 90 are girls, and the remaining 60 are boys. This is done. If 68% of the students, including 30 boys, pass the exam, now 68% of 150, we are trying to find out. 68% of 150 pass the exam. 3, 2, 34, 90, and 12. 102 students pass the examination. Out of these 102 students, including 30 boys are there. And therefore, 72 girls would have passed the examination. 102 minus 30 is 72. The percentage of girls who did not pass the examination. Out of 90 girls, 72 passed. Therefore, 90 minus 72, 18 failed. And therefore, what percent of girls failed? 18 out of 90 girls failed. 0 cancel, 9 twos are 18. Therefore, 20% of the girls failed the examination. And that is the answer. Overall, an easy question. You would have come across some questions while practicing as well. The solving time also will not be more than 1.5 minutes. Definitely, this kind of a question should be looked at in the exam. The income of Amala is 20% more than Bimla and 20% less than Kamala. So whatever Bimla earns, 20% more than Bimla, Amala will have 1 plus 20 upon 100 times of Bimla's salary. This will be into 1.2. Also, 20% less than Kamala. So whatever Kamala earns, Bimla will have 1 minus 20 upon 100. Therefore, 0.8 into K. So what I'm saying is Amala's salary will be a multiple of 1.2 and 0.8. So I'm assuming Amala's salary to be 12 into 8, 96. Now, therefore, what will be Bimla's salary? Bimla into 1.2 should be Amala's salary. And therefore, Bimla's salary will be 96 upon 1.2, which is 80. As you can see, 20% of 80 is 16. Add 16 to 80, get 96. What will be Kamala's salary? Kamala into 0.8 will be Amala's salary, which we have taken as 96. So Kamala will be 96 upon 0.8, which will be 120. 20% of 120 is 24, 120 minus 24 is 96. So these are the three salaries. Now, Kamala's income goes down by 4%. 4% of 120 will be 480 upon 100, 4.8. So Kamala's salary now becomes 120 minus 4.8, 160, 115.2. And Bimla's goes up by 10%. 10% of 80 is 8. So Bimla's salary is now 88. Then the percentage by which Kamala's income would exceed Bimla's income. So Kamala's income exceeds Bimla's income by an amount of 115.2 minus 88, which is 27. 2 is 15, 5, 1, 27.2. And this we have to express as a percentage of Bimla's income. Therefore, 27.2 upon 88 into 100, or 2720 upon 88. We can divide this by 4, 8 as well. 8 is 24. If we divide this by 8, we get 8 3s are 24. 3 2. 3 2, 8 4s are 32. 0. 340 upon 11. 340 upon 11. This will be 30, 330, 30, 10 by 11. And therefore closest to, from the options, 31. Again, basic percentage change question. Once you have a starting value, you just have to change the values in solve. Typically, rather than taking variables, assuming a value is a better option. Also, look at multiplying factors to assume the value. The calculations become a lot easier. Should take about 2 minutes to solve the question. Easy to moderate in terms of level of difficulty. The price of the product was rupees 600 in the year 2008. It was increased by equal amounts in 2009, 10, 11. So 2008, the price was 600. In 2009, it became 600 plus X. Plus X. In 2010, it became 600 increased by the same amount, therefore 600 plus 2X. In 2011, again increased by the same amount, therefore 600 plus 3X. Find the ratio of the percentage increments in the price of the product in the year 2009 and 11. In 9, the percent increment will be X upon starting value 600 into 100. Increase over the starting value. In 2011, the percentage increase will be X upon 600 plus 3X into 100. We have to find the ratio. So the answer becomes X upon 600 into 100 upon X upon 600 plus 3X into 100. And therefore, the required answer is 600. X and 100 cancel out. 600 plus 3X upon 600. Clearly, the answer will be dependent on X. And therefore, what is the ratio? The ratio cannot be determined because depending on what value the increase is, the percentage value will change. Hence, option D. Overall, it might look as if since the change is same, the percentage change will also be same. But since the base is changing every year, the percentages will be different. So ideally, it's just a trick question. If you're able to spot that very quickly, you don't have to actually calculate, and you can directly mark cannot be determined. Ideally, that should be spotted. Should take about maybe even if you're solving, not more than 90 odd seconds to solve. But as a moderate level of difficulty, because when we are trying to beat time, we might end up making a mistake. The breadth of a rectangle is decreased by 25%, as a result of which the perimeter of the rectangle decreased by 10%. By what percent should the length of the rectangle now be increased such that the perimeter of the rectangle will be the same as the initial one? Perimeter of the rectangle is 2L plus B. 2 perimeter is twice of length plus breadth. What we can do is we can assume a breadth, and then from there find out the length so that we are able to find the perimeter. Or what we can do is P is equal to 2L plus 2B. The breadth is decreased by 25%. So the new breadth will be B into 1 minus 25 by 100. This is 1 by 4. So the new breadth is 3 by 4. As a result, the perimeter is decreased by 10. Perimeter will become P into 1 minus 10 upon 100, which will be P into 1 minus 1 by 10, 9 by 10. So we can say the new perimeter is 9P by 10. And this is equal to, the length remains in 2L plus 2 into 3 by 4B, which means 9P by 10 is equal to 2L plus 3B by 2. We have equation 1. We have equation 2. Or what we can do is, here we can substitute the value of P. So 9 into 2L plus 2B is equal to 10 upon 10 is equal to 2L plus 3B by 2. Cross multiply 18L plus 18B is equal to 20L. 10 into 10 by 2 is 5. 5 is a 15B. So 2L is equal to 3B, which means L by B is equal to 3 by 2. Which means the perimeter is nothing but, suppose the length is 3 and the breadth is 2. The perimeter is 2 into 3 plus 2, which is 2 into 5, which is 10. Now, we need the perimeter to remain the same. We have to find the new length, and the breadth has become 3 by 4 into the original breadth. So 3 by 4 into 2. So 10 by 2 is 5 is equal to new length plus 3 by 2, which means the new length is 5 minus 3 by 2, which is 7 by 2. what is the increase in length? So the increase in length is 7 by 2 minus 3, which is nothing but 1 by 2, over this is increase in length. Original length was 6, therefore percentage increase will be 1 by 2 upon 6 into 100, 1 by 2 upon 3. The initial length was not 6 but 3. Sorry. Into 1. Yes. And therefore 1 by 6 into 100 or 16.67%. Again, in terms of level of difficulty, it's a moderate level of question. It is easy to get a little confused with two equations having three variables. So you have to understand that in cases like these, just find a ratio between two of the variables by eliminating one variable. So you will get all the three variables with respect to one variable, and then calculations or percentage changes can be calculated. I'd say moderate question, which should take about 2.5 to 3 minutes to solve. A survey was conducted on a group of people comprising 60% men, 40% women. Among men, 116 were married. Among women, 30% were married, and 25% of the married women were housewives. If 70% of the people in the group were married, what was the number of married working women? Suppose we start with 100x people. 60% are men, so 60x are men, 40x are women. Among the men, 116 are married. Married. Among women, 30% were married. So 30% of 40x, which is 12x. 12x are married women, which means the remaining 28x are not married. And 25% of the married women. 25% means 1 by 4. 1 by 4 of 12x will be 3x. So 3x are housewives. And therefore, the remaining 9x would be working. If 70% of the people in the group were married, what was the number of married working women? Now, since 70% are married, we can say that the number of married people will be 70% of 100x, which is 70x. So 70x will be equal to the number of married men, which is 116, plus the number of married women, which is 12x, which means 58x is equal to 116, or x is equal to 116 by 58, which is 2. The question is, what was the number of married working women? Married working women was this, which is 9x. Married working 9x, which will be nothing but 9 into 2, which is 18. Option A becomes the answer. Again, breaking the larger number into smaller groups, a constant value is given from where we'll get the value of we'll equate and get the value of the variable or the constant of proportionality. And from there, we get the value. Might take some time in solving, but if done struck properly in sequence, easy question which can be attempted in exams as well. In an exam, Arun's mark was 25% more than pass marks, which in turn was 25 less. The pass marks, which in turn were 25% less than Varun's marks. The difference between the marks of Varun and Arun is 20 pass marks are. What we can do is we can say let the 25% less will be 3 by 4. So let the passing marks be 300x. I'm doing this because we have to find 1/4, 25% of pass marks to add and get the marks of Arun. Also, when we decrease Varun by 25%, we'll get Varun into 3 by 4, which will be equal to pass marks. So it has to be a multiple of 3 as well. Arun's marks are 25% more than pass marks. So Arun will score 300x plus 25% of 300x, which will be 75, 375x. Pass marks, which in turn are 25% less than Varun's marks. So pass marks 300x is equal to Varun minus 25% of Varun. This will be nothing but V minus 1 by 4V, which is 3 by 4V. Therefore, 300x is equal to 3 by 4V. 3 cancel, V is equal to 400x. So Varun's marks are 400x. Arun's are 375. The difference between the marks is 20. So 400x minus 375x is equal to 20, which means 25x is equal to 20. We have to find the pass marks. Pass marks are 300x. So if we multiply both sides by 12, 12 into 25, x is equal to 20 into 12. 12 into 25 is 300x, and this will be equal to 240. Therefore, the pass marks are equal to 240. Option B becomes the answer. Marks-based percentage question, moderate level of difficulty. This line could create a problem while reading because there could be a situation where we end up comparing Varun's marks with Arun, which could relate to a problem. So reading was the issue. Otherwise, not more than 2 minutes to solve. Overall moderate level of question. If we talk about the overall level of difficulty of the test, as I said initially, overall the level of test was easy. About 7 questions could be solved for a 95 percentile, and time taken should be about 18 to 21 minutes. Which questions would I look at in the examination? Now these are questions which I will always do irrespective of the kind of numbers that show up. For me, it will be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Which are these questions? This was a straightforward comparison, so definitely doing this. Easy numbers, definitely doing this. Might have left this question because I thought at some point the calculation was a little bit difficult. I mean, was based on assumption, and the 5x term was a little bit uh, confusing for me. Definitely doing this, just assume a number and solve. This was a very easy question, just breaking down the number of boys and girls and then solving. Similarly, I would have gone for this as well because once I know one of the values, I assume we are just doing a percentage change and comparing. Would have done this as well because again I was able to understand that the base effect is being talked about, so directly marking cannot be determined. This might be a little bit of a problem if we get confused with the equations. We might have left this. Definitely doing this, just break down the groups, get the answer. I've done many similar questions earlier as well, so in my to-do list here the first line was a little confusing, so might have left this. And therefore for me 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 were the attempt questions in this test.